Race number 4 of the 2018 AARO Amp Energy Racing Series season will be the Outback Steakhouse 200 at the Homestead-Miami Speedway in Homestead, Florida. Safety concerns have been a big issue amongst drivers and fans and teams alike. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out today. The AAA pole award goes to Carson Crompton in car number 84 as he leads Jared Cash and company to the green flag. Zach McRae starting in third, Herb Cilantro, stellar qualifying run for him in fourth, and Nate Smith in the back behind Zach McRae in fifth as his teammate Crompton was able to clear Jared Cash and take the lead for himself. As we've got Pat McKenzie in car number 82 making his Amp Energy Racing Series debut. Did not have a very solid qualifying run, unfortunately for him. He's one of several prospects in the Garth Enterprises system. And just behind him, Stephen Cortez, Seth McGuire, and Tobias Newbridge. Newbridge also making his 2018 debut. All wrecked in practice and or qualifying rather, and would go to the back as a result of going to backup cars. Some contact right there between Cortez and Phillips. Started with McKenzie and Cortez getting together, and Bo Phillips ended up shoved out of line. No harm, no foul though, and they would all keep going. Zach McRae keeping to the inside of Carson Crompton here on lap number 6 through turn number 1. Skulls Racing really, I can't understate it enough, has improved their program tremendously over the offseason, and certainly they are reaping the benefits of that. Kane Dwyer is going to follow his teammate Zach McRae into second place. Skulls Racing 1-2. And yet I just can't understate enough, this team was in some pretty dire straits over the past couple of years, especially with the Sebastian Morris injury, and now they have really found their footing. As we've got Luke Kinson here making his debut this season in the 02 car. I believe he's made a couple ARS starts before, and well, he was running in the mid to lower 30s, not having a great run for him. And we've got a new look on car number 92 this week, Christopher Morissette, a sharp new paint scheme, the Robin Hood colors. Not exactly helping him out. He's running in the mid-20s at this point. Jerry Richson we are on board with a little contact with Darcy Lusk here on lap number 19. The only thing that really comes of it is both of them are shoved to the outside and freight trained by a lot of the by the rest of the field. As Clyde Lattinger making a move underneath Kane Dwyer here for second position on lap number 22. Unable to do anything about it. The outside lane too strong. Through turns 1 and 2, Dwyer was able to clear him. However, a few laps later, with the help of Jared Cash in car number 0, he is able to make the pass stick and eventually is going to be able to clear Kane Dwyer in car number 10, getting routed on the outside here. And we're starting to see the usual suspects up at the front of the field here. Cash now making a move on Clyde Lattinger a few laps later for second. And consistent runs like this from drivers like Cash and Lipinski and Dwyer really start to show who has got championship form this season. Stephen Cortez has made a nice run through the field. He's now in 20th position, going around Jalen Scranton on the outside, while Herb Cilantro, who started in the 4th position, has dropped down to 26th and doesn't appear to be improving. So those two kind of at opposite ends of the spectrum here so far in this race. Jared Cash has reeled in and caught Zach McRae in car number 5. And lap number 34, Cash is able to make an attempt for the lead underneath car number 5. But McRae, with the momentum of the outside line, the inside and outside seem to be rather equal in terms of momentum. The 5 is able to hang quite consistently. And this battle for the lead would go on for several laps as we get a nice view of the contingency logos on car number 5. Ally, Great Clips, A&W, read all you want. As McRae holding strong on the outside line, not willing to give this one up easily. Entertaining battle between these two, as we've seen for the past couple of weeks. As we focus now on James Rodin in position number 40, just ahead of Luke Kinson in car number 02. Rodin is a rookie. He takes over he inherits the third car, the brand new third car at Sauer Enterprises, and so far has not looked terribly impressive, but we're hoping as he continues to gain experience that'll turn around. Jason Miller, the 2014 winner of this event, running 39th. so also not having a very good day. And the 2015 winner, Ricardo Blanco, as a fun fact, no longer is in the series. As Zach McRae and Clyde Lattinger kick off green flag pit stops here on lap number 55. And they would be part of a very small crowd that would come in on lap 55. Many of the leaders here, Cash, Vermette, and Kane Dwyer, all coming in the next lap. James Rodin, not having a very solid run, overshoots the pit entrance and runs into the pit wall. And he's going to block the pit entrance. He gave Newbridge a substantial bit of front-end damage. Luke Kinsen's lucky he stayed out there. Rodin just got in too hot. That was a rather silly mistake of him to make. And, well, that's going to throw a wrench into things, as some cars had stayed out while most others had pit. This is going to leave Alex Yates in car number 1 out in the lead. However, those cars would pit under this caution, and Jonathan Ringer would lead them out and therefore lead the field to the restart here on lap number 62. As he's got his teammate Michael Carter and Casey Lester both now on the tail end of the lead lap, as they're going to use the inside. They got a better start than the 36 car, and they are going to rocket forward to the lead. And Tommy Richer blew up coming to the green flag, and Jared Cash was to his inside, trying to get around him. Eventually they would get that situation sorted out, but a tough break for Tommy Richer here in car number 2. And we have a wreck up in turn number 1. That's going to be a caution right off the restart. Tough break for Tommy Richer, though. Jared Cash and Steven Cortez hard into the outside wall. Big hit for the both of them. Tough break. They were both having stellar runs. Cortez, after making up all of that ground from starting in the rear. And looking at Jared Cash, that was a rather hard impact into the wall. Luckily, he would be checked and released from the infield care center. He was all right, but that is not going to help his championship bid at all. There's Tommy Richter going by, and this was after they took the caution flag. Alex Yates gets dumped into the wall after a 3-wide battle with Carson Crompton there, and that's going to give some engine damage to car number 1, unfortunately for him. No pit stops needed. Jonathan Ringer leads them to the restart. Pretty standard operating procedure here. As coming out of turn number 4, we've got teammates not exactly working together, as Aaron Anderson goes around in car number 85 off of the bumper of Ike Durbin, car number 86. And Tobias Newbridge, with the engine damage he sustained, was slower. And Ike Durbin made a move first to go around him, and Anderson tried to go low, and the 86 didn't quite see him coming. So unfortunate for ACS Racing, but it's only going to get worse as Carson Crompton gets dumped to the inside by Cody Lochner after they took the yellow. Yet another yellow flag incident. Certainly not looking good, but that was rather needless on Lochner's part. And Lochner's kind of guarded himself a reputation lately. Not exactly a fan favorite in the garage area, and this is not going to help his case at all. He just kept hooking right and turned the 84 into the inside wall. Nate Smith is not going to be happy about this, but the driver and the crew chief of the 81 both were assigned to the hauler after the race. As a result of that, Carson Crompton would come down into the pits and pit to get that repaired. He would not drop out of the event, but needless to say, he would be off the pace as a result of that. As Sean Glossom leading the field to the restart, Keith Jesse to his inside. They're going to get together through turns 1 and 2 the following lap and hook each other into the outside wall. A little bit of patience could have been used to avoid that. Come on, we can get a green flag running here, can't we? And that is going to take Sean Glossom and Keith Jesse out of this one, unfortunately. It doesn't look like Madison Vermette had much involvement in that, and I believe there was another wreck in the back. Yes, Barry Juveno and Chad Lipinski get together. Jack Jefferson's involved. The 77 goes hard into the outside wall. The 88 would be done. The 77 would continue on, albeit heavily damaged. There's the wreck up ahead of the 77 and the 88's little excursion. And maybe the 20 of Tyler Deeford got involved. The 88 goes into the wall. He snags onto the wall in one of the most bizarre things we've seen in a while. They had to crowbar the 88 car off of the safer barrier there as he got stuck. And the 20 of Tyler Deeford definitely might have made some contact with the right rear quarter panel of the 77. As Jonathan Ringer leads the field, and Madison Vermette was going to start, I believe, to the inside of the 36, but he has an engine expire. Another engine failure coming to the green flag here on lap number 81, and that is a shame for Madison Vermette once again. the victim of engine trouble. Seth McGuire in car number 6 has recovered quite nicely from his start in the back of the field. His qualifying wreck. He is now making a move underneath Cody Lochner for second. So Seth McGuire, as we've seen, has been kind of emblematic so far of his season. Just a never-give-up attitude in this car number 6, as he has made his way nicely through the field. He eventually is going to clear Cody Lochner for the second position, right behind his teammate Jonathan Ringer. And lap number 89, Carson Crompton is going to slightly get in the way of Jonathan Ringer. Not so much slightly. That's rather inconvenient for the 36. Eventually, all the leaders are going to go to the inside and cleanly get around Carson Crompton in car number 84, as Tobias Newbridge would be even slower than the 84 car and frankly be more of a nuisance to the leaders, as we've got Greg Nee and Kent Grosso feeling the wrath of car number 53. Jonathan Ringer now facing Newbridge once again, not too much later in the event, but Ringer still able to hang on to the lead. Lap traffic this season has been a big point of contention in this series. Seth McGuire eventually able to catch and make a pass underneath Jonathan Ringer here through turns 1 and 2. Michael Carter in car number 39 making it 3 wide for second a few laps later underneath Cody Lochner and his teammate Ringer. Ringer looking to try and defend the position on the outside. Doesn't look like he's able to do it currently. And after several laps, Michael Carter in car number 39, the 2015 Series champion, would complete the pass around Cody Lochner. So Carter continuing to show his championship form. Aaron Parker in car number 03 has had a quiet run in about 25th place, and that is going to come to an end with an engine failure. Unfortunate break for Holiday Incorporated, but at least Luke Kinden's in the field, I guess. As Tobias Newbridge holds up McGuire, allows McGuire to pass Michael Carter, as the 39 and the 20 get held up significantly. Carson Crompton going to get in McGuire's way a few laps later. Cody Lochner with a bold move, almost got cut off by the 84 car. He's able to take the lead, but he's going to wash up the track. And Jalen Scranton is going to take advantage in car number 26. Eventually he is going to complete the pass. And Scranton definitely trying to rebound, as he's had an off couple of seasons. Hasn't really had the form that we've accustomed to him having. But he's had a very nice run so far all day. Up with the leaders. 14 laps to go here. Lap number 120. Jonathan Ringer going to make a move underneath Scranton to reclaim the second spot and try and make a charge on Lochner for the lead, with some help from Tobias Newbridge there. And once again, the 41 getting in the way. One of the officials has got to talk to that 41 team, as Lochner and Ringer working together here to try and they're having a battle of the lead for their own. The double wide chicane here of Barry Juvenile and Alex Yates is going to present an opportunity for Jonathan Ringer, who makes a bold move 3 wide and is going to take the lead as a result, using them kind of as a pick for the rest of the field. Michael Carter is going to be the first one of the leaders behind Ringer to get by and take over the second spot. Cody Lochner is going to get held up by Alex Yates, and he is slow in turn 1. The 81 car has a problem, and that's unfortunately going to hold up Seth McGuire and Tyler Deefer there, but Lochner is slow, very slow, creeping down the back stretch, and he is going to be unable to get this car back to the pit lane. However, he is on the very inside. He is out of the racing line, and therefore the officials decided not to throw a caution. They simply sent a tow truck out there to push him back around, and I believe he would get back out on the track, but he would be several laps down. Michael Carter in the closing stages of this one is able to reel in and pass Jonathan Ringer. We have 5 laps to go in this one now. Jalen Scranton looking to play spoiler. In car number 26, Tobias Newbridge in the way somewhat once again. Jonathan Ringer's going to pay the price as he gets dropped to 3rd. While Ashton Short and Casey Lester both have had rather quiet days, they are going to slot up into 4th and 5th, and Greg Nee in car number 53 is going to slot into 6th. Michael Carter's got a substantial lead as the white flag comes out. Jonathan Ringer trying to make a move on Scranton for 2nd, trying to make a JN1-2 happen. Carson Crompton getting in the way. Carter gets held up just a hair, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough for Jalen Scranton to make a charge. Jonathan Ringer gets to the 26s inside to make a challenge for second, but Michael Carter out of turn number 4 is going to win the Outback Steakhouse 200 in almost a 1-2 finish. Scranton second and Ringer third. Stellar performance all around by all 3 drivers. As some contact between Greg Nee and Carson Crompton sends both of them into the wall after the checkered flag. Look out, everyone. Crompton trying to get it corrected. McGuire hits him. And and a big hit by Smith into the passenger door of the 84 car. He's flipping violently down the track. And Alex Yates runs into him in car number 1. Oh, Kane Dwyer runs into him as well. Oh my goodness. And I did not like what I saw right there, as Smith did not slow down nearly enough. Pat McKenzie with a huge hit as well to the front of that car. They had just crossed the line. They didn't have a whole lot of time to slow down, but you can see this. You can see the smoke ahead as the 84 with several violent barrel rolls down the track through turns 1 and 2. I hope he's okay. And there's Kane Dwyer on board with Carson Crompton, and this is going to be a doozy of an onboard. As goes spinning, tries to get this one going. That's probably the saddest part of it. He gets hit. And he's along for the ride. In car number 84, no word on his medical condition, and there's an additional impact from the 1 and the 10. We hope that Carson Crompton is okay after that one. That was a violent hit. We're going to take a look in slow motion. Wow. And boy, the 3 drivers initially involved in that massive accident were all transported to the hospital. We have no word on their exact medical condition at this time. But Kane Dwyer was checked and released from the infield care center with just minor bruises with his impact at the end there to the 84. As we take a look on board with the 10. He had plenty of time to slow down. I don't understand why that needed to happen. And Kane Dwyer, with the amount of promise that he's shown, he knows far better than to do something like that. That's straight up stupid. I can't even defend that. Jason Miller decides to pile in at the end here. Once again, stupid. I don't understand it. There's no defense for it. But aside from that, wow. Somewhat overshadowing Michael Carter's win here, and he does several burnouts on the front stretch here. Kind of a subdued victory lane. Everyone was quite concerned about that wreck in turns 1 and 2, but Michael Carter continuing to showcase why he's so acclaimed in the garage area, and why JNN has given him the status as their flagship driver. Jalen Scranton brings home second place for Show TA Motorsports. Jonathan Ringer in third place. Ashton Short in fourth, and Casey Lester in fifth. Greg Nee, held up by Tobias Newbridge in the closing stages there, comes home in sixth. Christopher Morissette, very quiet day for him. Didn't start off all that well, but he brings it home with a top 10 finish. Ike Durbin in eighth. Car number 86 recovering from that incident with his teammate Aaron Anderson earlier on. Ryan Barley with a quiet run in ninth, and Kent Grosso in car number 66 for Keith Davis Motorsports rounds out the top 10. Jonathan Ringer sits atop the point standings, leaving Homestead-Miami 4 markers ahead of Tyler Diefer. Kane Dwyer seemed to fall off towards the end of this race and didn't exactly have the greatest of finishes. Also piling into that wreck at the end doesn't help. He sits 38 points back in third place in the championship. Michael Carter, with his win, jumped up 8 spots in points, up to fourth, 91 markers back. Seth McGuire is in fifth. Jared Cash is in sixth, 135 markers back. Jalen Scranton seventh, with his second place finish today, 154 behind. Carson Crompton in eighth, but depending on his medical condition, he might not be able to retain his spot in points. Obviously, it depends on if he's even able to race from here on out. We don't have word on his medical condition as of yet, but we will update you soon. Casey Lester in ninth, 168 points back with his fifth place finish, and Clyde Lattinger comes home in 10th, 15 points behind his teammate. The next stop for the Amp Energy Racing Series will be at the Darlington Raceway for the Armor All 200, where Michael Carter will see if he can go back-to-back. I'm Robert Carell, and I'll see you next time.